What is up, folks? I'm hopeful that you can hear my voice. I had some technical difficulties to start the stream, but we should be good. Hopefully, all is well. This weekend is a big one. Why? Well, because you're having the WWE and TNA sharing the weekend with two big shows. TNA's biggest show for Bound for Glory, and we have Crown Jewel down under in Perth. I like to call it the Rhea Ripley show. It's in Australia, and it's on her birthday, for crying out loud. She's been down there in Australia doing all the media for her show. It's her birthday present, so it should be good. I think it's better than the freaking WrestlePalooza card. That's for damn sure. That's funny, actually. They probably should have just waited, and by they I mean ESPN. They should have just waited for WrestlePalooza. Well, not for WrestlePalooza. They should have waited for Crown Jewel. The problem with Crown Jewel, it's a 8 a.m. start on the East Coast. Actually, I might actually stream that show live. No guarantees yet, but I may stream Crown Jewel live at 8 a.m. Here's a question. If I stream Crown Jewel at 8 a.m. in the morning on Saturday, will you be up? For the chat, just put yes or no. Will you be up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday if I'm streaming? Just curious. What's up, Keenan? What's up, Jerry? What's up, Sean? What's up, NIY? Will you be up? I'm curious to know. Yes, you would be up, Richard? I'm thinking, because I wake up early anyway, I'll be watching the show. I'm wondering if I should stream it live. It'll probably go from like 8 a.m. to 11 in the morning. I'm considering it. We'll see. But no guarantees. Anyway, Crown Jewel. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. By the way, SmackDown tomorrow, 8 a.m. And then Raw, 8 a.m. And on Sunday, we have Bound for Glory, which is supposed to be the biggest show. It's TNA's WrestleMania, headlined by Trick Williams and Mike Santana. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are headlining Crown Jewel. They're fighting for a ring, literally a ring. But it's more about the storyline. It's more about Seth Rollins. So we're going to break down those shows. I'm going to tell you what should happen, not what I think is going to happen. All these reaction channels and content creators, they're all coming out here and giving their predictions. Like, who cares about what Triple H is going to do? Who cares about what Carlos Silva is going to do? You should talk about what you would do and what you want. Because at the end of the day, I could predict Triple H's booking all day long. Who cares? I'm talking about what I would do and how I would execute it and what I think should happen to make the best storyline. And you can tell me if you agree or disagree. Starts at 5 a.m. on the West Coast. On the East Coast, where I live, it's 8 a.m. Anyway, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let's dive in to Crown Jewel. All right, so I don't know the match scheduling in terms of like what match starts and what's going to end. I'm going to assume if Roman Reigns is not closing the show, Roman Reigns will open the show. Let's start there. Let's start with Roman and Bronson Reed. If I hit the right thing here, here it is. Boom. Okay, first match. Roman, Bronson Reed. This is a Australian street fight, which is something apparently Bronson Reed has never lost. It's just a regular old street fight, a hardcore match like any other hardcore match. But I think Bronson Reed should win this since they established that he doesn't lose these. It's in his neck of the woods, not his hometown or whatever, but in his neck of the woods, place he's familiar with, that side of the earth. And Roman Reigns can take a loss here. They can cheat, they can do whatever they want. It's a hardcore match, but I think Bronson Reed should get this one. Last time they faced each other, Bronson Reed lost. So what are we doing here? Why are we doing this match again if Roman Reigns is going to win again? Last time they fought, Bronson Reed lost and got his heat back, but you can't do that again. So I would just suggest what I would do, have Bronson Reed win here. This then goes into, of course, War Games. And then Roman Reigns can get his licks back then. He can get his ultimate victory then. But on the road to Crown Jewel and now to War Games, that's what it's headed to, by the way. Once Crown Jewel is over, we are in the build towards War Games, and you'll see during this breakdown how that works and how I'm thinking about that. All of this stuff, most of it, leading towards War Games. But I think Bronson Reed should win. And if anything else happens, it'll be stupid. Bronson was nowhere to be found Monday, so he's costing Roman. Braun was nowhere to be found. Yeah, I can see that. I agree. Bronson needs to win. He's selling our season. Arch Manning. This is not the college football stream, Pedro. Arch Manning sucks. I know that, but well, the whole entire team isn't really doing well. Anyway, not about Texas. I got Bronson Reed winning, and this leading towards War Games. And after Crown Jewel, I'll be doing my War Game stream, telling you who I think will be on the team and all that fun jazz. But yeah, Bronson Reed will win. Next match. This is maybe my most anticipated. Why? Because it is storyline driven. Either this or the main event. You have Io Sky against the birthday girl, Rhea Ripley. I said against or with? With the birthday girl, Rhea Ripley, taking on Kairi Sane and the legendary Empress herself, Asuka. Now, this is probably the most entertaining storyline on Raw right now. I think they're all doing very well to tell the story. I think Io Sky and Rhea Ripley took L's repeatedly leading up to this match, getting misted left and right. Asuka's been trolling her online, calling her a Smurf and a avatar. Okay? So I think at this point, it's clear that Rhea Ripley and Io, on Rhea Ripley's birthday in Perth, will get the win here. But that's beside the point. That's what I think should happen, honestly. But what I think should happen also, we get some character moments and some story beats that are interesting. Let's say Io Sky is still tormented, or not Io Sky. Let's say Kairi Sane is still being tormented. She's still struggling with being definitive with her actions. And Asuka gets annoyed with Kairi Sane. Maybe Asuka hits Kairi again. And you think, oh, Kairi's going to turn. She's going to turn, but no. She stays in line with Asuka. I want to see some storyline beats in that way. Some character moments from Kairi Sane. I want to see some character moments for Asuka. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's the most intriguing thing here. The most intriguing thing is the dynamic between Asuka and Kairi Sane. This match ultimately is not the end of the storyline. Okay, so Asuka stood tall a couple times. Now Rhea Ripley and Io win here, but this is all leading to War Games. Of course, these two teams will be on opposite sides of the War Games ring. Okay, so this is a story beat or story match, very much a storyline match, leading towards the ultimate goal, which is War Games. Who will be on Team Asuka and Kairi? Who will be on Team Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane? That's a stream for a later day. Again, right after Crown Jewel, I'll be streaming about that because that's where it's headed to. You're getting War Games. So yeah, this is a pit stop. A pit stop on the ultimate road to a War Games match, which will feature all four of these women. Shot in the dark take. Dakota Kai gets re-signed, joins Asuka and Kairi. That'll get a pop. It'll get a pop. Definitely shot in the dark. Yeah, War Games is obviously the end game. Yep, that's where this is going to. Going to War Games. So yeah, don't fret. I'm sure there'll be some people upset when Rhea Ripley hits that riptide. This is leading to something, okay? It's leading towards War Games, and we'll talk about the teams going forward. Okay, next match. Yeah, so I want to see, I don't care who wins this. I don't really care who wins, but I want to see the actual story beats, character moments from Kairi, Asuka, Io, that three especially. Rhea Ripley, she's an outsider in the family. I want to see maybe Io try to bring Asuka back, but it fails. Maybe Io tries to reason with Kairi, saying, "Come on, Kairi, you know this is wrong. Stop following Asuka. Want to see all that stuff. And actually, a good moment would be Kairi Sane on the verge of turning, but ultimately stands firm with Asuka and attacks Io and says, "No, I'm not turning. I'll be with Asuka. I'll be with Asuka." And then later on, maybe War Games, then Kairi turns. So save the Kairi turn for later on. Have Kairi Sane stand pat with Asuka here. So folks may think, oh, we lost Kairi Sane. She is on the dark side. Well, ultimately, she turns to the good side, maybe at War Games. But plant the seeds. Set that up. Set up a payoff. It'd be good down the road. Becky, Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day, and Rhea Ripley. That's probably. If Becky Lynch is in there, we'll talk about that later. But if Becky is in the match, then I agree. Becky, Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day. That makes sense. But we'll see if Becky's in there or if Becky's doing something separate with AJ Lee later on. Next match, Cena, AJ Styles. No storyline to talk about, so we won't talk about that. It's a good match. What the people wanted to see. I think we're just going to get a good match here. I don't think anything will come of it from a storyline perspective. I can see it going either way. I'll say John Cena for now, but with no real conviction here. I'll go John Cena. But there's no story here, so it'd be a good match. Looking forward to it, but storyline, story beats, intrigue, I don't think so. Unless Brock Lesnar shows up. Unless Brock Lesnar is the ultimate troll and shows up and F5s them both, something like that, which could lead to War Games if John Cena will be in War Games. You have Brock Lesnar show up. You know what? That's what I would do. Have a great match. The match ends, and then Brock shows up and gives them all hell, leading towards Brock being in War Games, because ultimately folks want that payoff, because they feel like Brock showed up, smashed John Cena, and that was it. But if Brock and John are both in War Games, well then John Cena can get the payback in War Games, and people will be less annoyed. They'll be less annoyed about what happened, Brock can show up there. Or the main event, that could work as well. Next match, no story there. Tiffy versus La Primera. No real story here either, because this build has been on SmackDown, and Road Dogg SmackDown riders are ass. We'll talk about that later on. But no real story here. Tiffany says, hey, it's Tiffy time. I respect you, Stephanie, but in Australia, it's going to be Tiffy time, okay? WWE runs on Tiffy time. And Stephanie is saying, hey, Tiffany, I respect you, but wrestling is my first language, and I'm going to be the best. This is your typical respects promos. Nothing to see here from a storyline perspective. It's going to be a killer match. Because, Tiffany brings that athleticism and that pop in the ring. She got springs on her feet. She can jump out the gym, athletic, can move quick, fast. And you have Stephanie, who's just a technician, amazing in the ring, also athletic, can go, can carry, can do it all. I think they'll have a good chemistry. This could be match of the night. If they really hit it on all cylinders, these two can go. You have a veteran in there with Stephanie. So, it's going to be a good one. What should happen? Tiffany should lose to Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie just won the championship. She's a veteran here. She should have hierarchy over Tiffany. Okay, she should be the champion, the A-champ here. Stephanie should win. Anything else would be a mistake. I don't see any. I want to see any interference. I saw Jay Cargill is on the poster. Oh well. I don't want to see Jay Cargill show up here. This should be a clean win for Stephanie. A clean win. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Tiffany should lose. If Tiffany wins, it'll be a mistake. it'll be a big mistake. I don't understand why you would do that. Yeah, I just don't understand why you do that. So, like Tiffany, they've been talking about how Tiffany had been undefeated all year. Brought that up. Maybe they brought that up because they're going to have Stephanie win, have that on her accolades. Like, hey, she gave Tiffany her first loss of the year. Big win for Stephanie. Blah, 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 blah. She's here. La Primera, the A champ. Blah, 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 blah. But I think that's what should happen. I won't take any other answer besides that. It would be a mistake. Okay, it would be a mistake. If Bianca is out for a long time just due to belt Julia, random as hell. Tiffany needs to lose. It might actually give her character a little bit more depth. I agree. Stephanie's winning. I think she'll win ultimately, but what I would do, make her win. That's what I would do. But I think this would be a good match, man. I'm looking forward to it from an in-ring standpoint. Storyline sucks. Again, SmackDown build. But the two can go, and I think it'll be a good one. In the next match, the final match, the big one, Cody versus Seth for a crown jewel ring. Seth should win. Point blank, period. If he loses, it's not a... Well, I said he should win. Point blank, period, but I take it back. I would have him win. But there is a interesting storyline you could go with if Seth loses. Because Paul Heyman said, if Seth loses, then he'll have to ask himself, why did he pick Seth? And then he may have to convince Bronson and Braun Breaker to stay with the vision. Because if you can't beat Cody Rhodes, why should I care about your vision? Why should I follow you? So on and so forth. So it is an interesting route they could go if Seth loses. But I just can't stand to see him lose again. He lost to Cody 3 times. Doesn't need to be 4. Again, you could come up with an interesting storyline where he does lose. But for me, just give him the win. Here, establish Seth in the vision. Now, would it be clean? Will it be a nefarious situation? I don't know. I'm not even sure what's the best route to go. Cody doesn't really lose clean. Yeah, I doubt they book it that Seth wins clean. So some type of interference, some type of cheating, whether it's Brock Lesnar, whether it's Bronson or Braun Breaker or whatever. I think Seth wins, but not clean. But again, I just want to be clear. There is an interesting route you could go where Seth loses. But I think Seth ultimately needs to win this, so I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. Seth wins, and that is the entire card. I think Bronson Reed should win. That's funny because now that I look at it, those are 2 Vision wins. Fine, that's fine. 2 Vision wins. I have Bronson Reed beating Roman because it's a hardcore match. You can cheat. Well, not really cheat. You can just have interference. That's legal. I got the birthday girl and EO winning here. I got John Cena winning because why not? I guess no real conviction there. Stephanie wins, and Seth wins. And again, this is what I would do. Actually, I think Triple H would probably do the same thing anyway, in terms of wins. Probably. But anyway, it's not about him. It's about me. Any chance of Zarya versus Alexa getting added? Aren't Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss facing Julia and Kiana James on SmackDown? That's happening, right? Am I crazy? Or was it? Never mind. I'm sorry. It's going to be Julia and Kiana James versus the two champs, Tiffy and Stephanie. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know what Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss is doing. Could it be a last minute ad? Sure, it could. I doubt it, but they have to do it on Friday, tomorrow morning. By the way, again, SmackDown is live 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Probably not. Probably not. I doubt Zarya and Soul jumped on a plane to go to Australia. I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just announce it earlier in the week. You know? Yes and no. But yeah, it should be a good show. Should be a good show. Before I move on to Bound for Glory, any questions about Crown Jewel? Any thoughts at all that I may have missed? Zarya is from Australia. She is. That's true. She sure is. May fly down for the show. Maybe. I don't know. You're gonna watch the show live? I'll be awake. Might stream it. Razar. I might stream it live at 8 a.m. Doing an NXT house shows? Well, there you go. There you go. There'll be no Zarya or Soul in Australia. Grayson's answering Sami Zayn's open challenge. I agree. That's a good call. Again, that show's happening tomorrow morning. But that makes sense. I agree. That should happen, actually. That should happen. But yeah, I think this is a better card than WrestlePalooza. I think it'll be a good show with good in-ring. Not a dud on there. From an in-ring standpoint, there's not a dud on that card. It's solid, man. Solid card. Very solid card, man. Yes, SmackDown is in Perth and Raw is in Perth. All three shows. SmackDown tomorrow morning, a Crown Jewel Saturday morning, and Raw Monday morning. All in Australia. We haven't seen AJ since her win. I'm guessing after Crown Jewel. Like, you know how the WWE books in segments, so we have the Crown Jewel build. Once that's over, going towards War Games, and that's where AJ comes back. So they didn't need AJ right now because AJ and Becky would take space away from the Crown Jewel builds. That's why CM Punk has not been interacting with Seth Rollins, because you need Seth Rollins to be focused on Cody Rhodes. That's what's happening here. So after Crown Jewel, then things will reshape. AJ comes back into the fold, things of that nature. Okay, let's talk about not Crown Jewel. We just did that one. Bound for Glory. All right, Bound for Glory. There is a Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. I'm not even sure what this is. I'm sure it'll be fun. Whatever. No comment. Have fun. Tessa Blanchard taking on Miss Miller here. This is going to be a squash. It won't be, but it should be. Tessa has returned. She attacked Miller not too long ago. She came back from an injury, and she challenged Tessa Blanchard. This should be... I don't know why they're doing this at Bound for Glory. Tessa Blanchard working CMLL now. She's working both promotions. Tessa wins. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure why they're doing this match at Bound for Glory. But whatever. Maybe it'll be entertaining. But yeah, Tessa should win. Any other outcome would be dumb. Creatively, at least, right? You're going to be used in TNA less and less. Well, the issue with Tessa that the WWE are not interested. If that was the case, if that wasn't the case, she'd be a much better position creatively. But right now, it's all about the WWE versus TNA. So she's not needed because she's not working with the WWE. But once Bound for Glory is over, I think you'll see her more on TNA TV. Even though I don't think the WWE relationship will be over anytime soon, I think you'll see her more often once Bound for Glory is over. Next match, we have Order 4 taking on the System. What should happen here? I think Order 4 should win. I think the System should probably break up, honestly. But yeah, Order 4 should win this one. I have no real breakdown about what should happen here beyond Order 4 wins. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's a hardcore war, so a hardcore match. It should be a fun match to watch, at least. I'll go, I think Order 4 should win. Will the System win? Maybe. But I would book Order 4 to win this match. Ali won at Victory Road. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, I would not be surprised if the System wins, but I'm not booking that. Anyway, let's move on to the next match. Frankie versus Steve Macklin. How long has Frankie Kazarian had that belt? That's a damn good question. Somebody Google that. How long did he have this belt? 2 weeks? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think Frankie retains here. If it was a longer reign, I'd say he loses, but nah. I think Frankie retains here. Pretty straightforward. Storyline wise, nothing to see here. Nothing too interesting here. But I have Frankie winning this. Move on. Here we go. Now we're cooking here. Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. There's no real story here. Because it's TNA versus the WWE stuff here, not that much storyline stuff. This is just like, hey, we respect each other, we like each other, let's wrestle. It'll be fun. Match of the night type of stuff. I think Leon Slater retains. Because I don't think you book Javon Evans to beat your young stud up and coming guy here. I don't think that's a smart move here. I think they have a good match. Nip and tuck, go back and forth, but ultimately your guy, Leon Slater, wins. Because again, of course, TNA executives are the ones booking this, not the WWE. So Leon Slater will win this. It'll be a fun match. Javon can take the L. It's fine. You think Javon wins? Nah, that's not a Bound for Glory. No, not a Bound for Glory. Your biggest show, TNA's biggest show, you're gonna book your young stud to lose? That'd be malpractice. That makes no sense. You don't see a world where Javon Evans gets pinned twice in 1 week. He got pinned on NXT. I forgot how that match ended. Did Javon Evans take the pin on NXT this past Tuesday? That's weird booking if that did happen. Leon pinned Javon on Tuesday. Recalculating well, remember, I'm booking it. Like Carlos Silva can do whatever he wants. What I would do is I would not have my guy losing on the biggest stage for TNA. I wouldn't do that. So I'm booking Leon Slater to win. What Carlos Silva does, who knows? But I'm not doing that. So I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm talking about what I think would happen, not what I think should happen, not what I think will happen. What I think should happen. I'm short, I'm bald. I've been fighting my entire life. Pedro, you all right, man? Next match, you have the old guys, the Hardys and the Dudley Boys here. One final table. One final table. Okay. Here's the thing. TNA and NXT titles are on the line. Any doubt about this outcome went out of the window once they put the titles on the line. They're not putting the NXT titles on Bubba, Bully, and Devon, okay? It's not happening. So the Hardys will retain. Hopefully the old guys can still go. By old guys, I mean Devon and Bubba Ray. We'll see how it goes though. I'm hoping for the best. Expecting a shit show. We got the Hardys retaining here, of course. I don't see it any other way. But anyway, it's not about what I think is going to happen. What I think will happen is the Hardys win. Well, I keep getting it mixed up. I'm booking this, right? So I'm booking the Hardys to win, period. I keep saying I'm not going to do predictions, but I sound like I'm giving predictions. The Hardys, if I'm booking it, will win. Will Shawn Michaels do the same thing? Probably, but who cares about that? I'm booking the Hardys to win, period. That'd be a fun match. No real story there. No story continuing going off. Now you have the Knockouts title. You have Kalani Jordan taking on Indy. I can't go in the ring. Hartwell. I gotta be honest. I'm not the biggest Indy Hartwell fan. Kalani Jordan just won the belt. I'm not booking her to lose. Sorry. I'm not booking the talented one to lose to Indy Hartwell. So, Indy, unfortunately for you, you're taking the L. Now, to be fair, Kalani Jordan was a fill-in, right? It was supposed to be Ash by Elegance in this spot. Ash by Elegance was the champion, but she had to drop the belt because of health issues. So who's to say Kalani Jordan isn't a transitional champion? If that is the case, I'm mad if I'm NXT. Because why the hell am I booking, or why the hell am I allowing my young stud, Kalani Jordan, take the pin to Indy Hartwell? No disrespect to Indy Hartwell, but come on. There's talent and there's whatever Indy Hartwell is. I mean, she is, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Kalani Jordan has more talent in her pinky than Indy Hartwell. That is my opinion. So, I'm not booking Kalani Jordan to lose. But we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. It could go either way. But, yeah, Kiana, he's saying Kiana because it's a KJ thing. But Kalani Jordan should not be losing to Indy Hartwell. Point blank, period. Could you have Danny Luna dethrone Kalani Jordan later? Yes. That's probably the move. In fact, I'm surprised Danny Luna was not in the NXT versus TNA thing, but I would have Danny Luna dethrone Kalani later on. If you don't want to use Tessa or Danny Luna, pick one. I go with Danny Luna probably. I prefer that, but it is what it is. But yeah, I can see that ultimately that would be the move. That'd be the move for sure to have Danny Luna win that belt. I like Danny Luna. She can go. She has a good presence about her. She's a full-on TNA superstar. No WWE ties, anything like that. So I'll go with Danny Luna. Tessa might be a failed experiment. I wouldn't call it failed. It's an interesting booking, though. Especially, but I don't know what's going on with the WWE. I don't know if they have any we don't know for sure. I suspect there's a no-fly zone with Tessa when it comes to WWE, but that's a guess. I don't know. If that's the case, then yeah, you can never really capitalize on the crossover with her. But she can still be champ on your programming. Just it'd be interesting to see how they would do that. But this does not bode well these type of matches, she got pinned by Indy Hartwell. Now she's facing Miller. I don't love it. I don't love it. If I'm someone who is invested in her creative, I don't love this booking. But maybe they don't see her as long-term answer for the title. In that case, it makes sense. If that's the case, the booking makes sense. And finally, the main event, Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. It's been a long road for Mike Santana. I remember when folks were upset when he lost to Trick back at Slammiversary. They said, "Oh my God, this is terrible. How can you do this?" Even Kim got in the action. He said, "Oh, it should have been Mike's night. I'm upset by this." I'm like, guys, come on. You're gonna win it on the biggest stage. You're gonna win it on the biggest stage, and that's what happened. Well, that's what's gonna happen. Because Mike Santana will defeat Tessa Blanchard. Will defeat Trick Williams. Okay, that's gonna happen. Mike will win on the biggest stage here. What happens next? I don't know. I think Trick should probably be done with NXT at that point, but who knows? But Mike Santana will win. And then they should probably just announce the CW deal, if it's official, because that's what all this is happening. All this back and forth, all this enhanced and forced crossover, the whole showdown show is all about the TV deal. That's what it's about, clearly. TNA, I said this before online, on Twitter, I don't know if I said it in stream, TNA are trying to sell themselves as SmackDown to NXT's Raw. That's the whole plan. So, hey, look, we have NXT talent. There's crossover. You gotta watch both. You gotta watch both. There's synergy here. So CW, bring us along. You can bring the ratings as well. That's what they're trying to do. I don't know about the pay-per-view deal. Maybe that's also Peacock. Who knows? Will Peacock get on the action? That'd be huge for TNA. CW deal and Peacock deal. That'd be huge. We'll see. Apparently, in 2026, Carlos Silva announced that there'll be a different TV provider for TNA come 2026. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what it is. I think CW, but we'll see. If it's a CW, and the rumors about this whole billionaire owner coming in, I'm telling you, AEW fans are going to lose their shit. Those two things come together. CW deal, billionaire owner, telling you all hell is breaking loose for Tony Khan. All hell is breaking loose if that happens. They don't want that. The narrative will be interesting to watch. But anyway, that's my breakdown of Bound for Glory. So, quick rundown. Hard shot, who knows? I'm booking Tessa to win this. I'm booking Order 4. I'm booking Frankie Kazarian. I'm booking Leon Slater. I'm booking Hardys. I'm booking Kalani Jordan, not Kiana James. And I'm booking Mike Santana. That's what should happen. Well, Chris, look at the ratings. More people watch that crossover than Dynamite. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Imagine if Ricky Saints shows up at Bound for Glory and costs Trick. That'd be can't happen. Well, I'm not booking that because I would want my guy Mike Santana to win clean on the biggest stage, to be the face of TNA. So I would not book that if I was in their shoes. I would not book that. Don't want AW to succeed. It's not a family-friendly product. is stinky indie garbage. I don't have a problem with AEW existing. They can exist all day long. I want them to invest in women's wrestling more, but Tony Khan, he don't care about women's wrestling. That's for damn sure. Oh looky, it's been released. The ratings for this week's head-to-head programming between WWE and AEW. NXT 125,000, 0.12 in the key demo. Dynamite 3,200,000, less than half. Actually, it's not less than half. Take that back. Almost less than half, but it's not. And a 0.07 in the key demo. Not great. It's funny how, depending on whose side is winning, they like the rating battle conversation. Back in the day when AW was beating NXT on Wednesdays, they were all about those ratings. Now that the tables have turned and NXT beats Dynamite more often, like, who cares about the ratings? Your ratings suck. Like, you're a loser for talking about ratings. You know how it is. Your team is losing. Your priorities shift. Okay. That's the breakdown of the two shows. Question time for next 15 minutes. AW can't sell or draw. They're having trouble now with this climate. With this wrestling climate, they're having a little bit of trouble here. Can they rectify it? Honestly, it'll be tough once TNA gets more that TV deal and gets more money behind them. Because now you're just flooding the market. You're flooding the market with not only WWE, but now TNA. So you have to, like, okay, navigate WWE, navigate TNA. Now you're muddying the waters. Now you're going to tell people, hey, I'm AEW, but what about TNA? I heard about TNA. You're not WWE. So there's more people in the water, more people in the pool to try to navigate. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for AEW. Really grab the headlines. That's the thing, right? Headlines. You want to get the headlines. That's what you want to grow. Newsworthy stuff. Viral moments. Stuff like that. And when you're having TNA coming along here now, it's going to be tougher to go viral, tougher to get those headlines, tougher to break out into the mainstream and cross over, you know. Now the sickos will be watching, the sickos will be invested, but in terms of crossing over and getting new fans, it'd be harder now that TNA is in the mix. They did Sari dirty last week. So for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Sari showed up in America to wrestle at Ring of Honor. There was no fanfare, no hype up video, nothing like that. She just showed up with Alex Windsor. Showed up with Alex Windsor, wrestled a tag match, and then immediately after that, for the next taping, she faced Alex Windsor. That'll be shown today. Yeah, tonight. So if you have money to pay for the subscription service for Ring of Honor, you can watch Sari taking on Alex Windsor. She'll probably be back eventually to face Athena. That's the match she wants. She wants to face Athena. We'll see how it goes, but it's what it is. It is what it is when it comes to Sari. One of my favorites. Do I love to see her wrestling at Ring of Honor? No, I don't. But it is what it is. Dakota is not from Florida. So that's another thing. People thought on Tuesday, Title Tuesday, is going to be Mercedes against Dakota Kai. I'm not even sure if she lives in Orlando. She probably does, but I'm not sure. It wasn't. It was what's her face? Lacey Lane, former WWE talent, Lacey Lane. I gotta rewatch that match, but looked decent. It looked decent. Speaking of Lacey Lane, in my For You tab, it showed her former tag team partner. Maybe she'll show up in AW soon. Who knows? Who knows? Or she may be moving on from wrestling. I don't know. But, we'll see how it goes. We'll save the Mari Gold Grand Destiny talk for a later date. But that might be my most not even might. That is my most anticipated show of this month, more than Crown Jewel, I think. But Summer Destiny, not Summer Destiny, but Grand Destiny, Mari Gold. That is the strongest card he's put together for Mari Gold, period, I think. But we'll talk about that later. Talk about that in the coming weeks. That Grand Destiny card. But it is a big deal. I'll be having to pay extra because it's a pay-per-view. Even though I pay for Wrestle Universe here, this show you need to purchase, as you can see here. But yeah, this is gonna be a big one. Best card Rossi has put together for Mari Gold. But we'll talk about that later. That's not until the 26th. Did AW announce the women's tag belts too early? Honestly, until I saw that comment you just put, I forgot. I forgot that damn tag team title existed. What's going on with that? Like, what are they doing with that? Like, when is it going to be a tournament? What's going on with those belts? I forgot that thing existed. Why hasn't AW announced? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that tournament. It should have been announced by now. Waiting for Blood and Guts to be over. When is Blood and Guts? That right around the corner? Oh, this is a cute picture. This is cute. Tour time. Perth, Melbourne, Japan. Sporting John Cena, I see. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff here. Thoughts on it? Triangle of Madness. What about it? I think that Tony Khan likes Tekla. I think Tekla has been booked solid. If I were her, I wouldn't be complaining if I was her. Julia Hart, Sky Blue, they're kind of just there. They're proper lackeys. But it could be worse for Tekla. I think Tekla is in a good spot. The rest of them, I don't know. But Tekla, I think, is in a really good spot for AW. How long will it last? It depends. It depends on if she's chosen. Like Mariah May was chosen by Tony Khan. Is Tekla chosen? Because if she is, her push could be solid. Here it is, folks. Here it is. I'll be watching it later on tonight. Free versus Windsor. How that goes. Tekla is being tested. She is being tested. We'll see how she delivers. Her booking in AW is far superior than what it was in Stardom. Her booking in Stardom was laughable. Even the Stardom fans were hating her. They were happy to see her go. Her booking was not great. It was ass in Stardom. For AEW, much better booking for her. Much better. So if you're somebody who's confused by why folks were shitting on Tekla when she got signed, because her booking in Stardom was terrible. It was laughable. It was so bad. But new vision, new booker. See something in her. And her booking is solid. It's fine. Do I think Io hurt herself bad on that ring spot? No. Her arms hit. She's an experienced worker. She's dealt with the worst. She's fine. I'm not saying it's not dangerous because it is, but I think she's fine. I would not be worried about Io Sky right now. She's good. If I'm Mayu, I'd be nervous because I'm Mayu. If I'm Mayu, I don't want to lose my dream match. So if I'm Mayu, I'm like, hey Io, take it easy until Grand Destiny. Don't do anything crazy in Perth. Sports Center tweeting about Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Ain't that something? From Adelaide, Australia. It's all Rhea Ripley. Telling you, it's her show. It's her show. That's crazy that Sports Center is tweeting about Rhea Ripley. It's crazy. Crazy times, folks. Crazy times. My body is ready. How do you think Hikaru Shida will be booked? Hikaru Shida, isn't she doing like Twitch right now? Like what is she doing? Is she even like active right now wrestling? I'm not following what Hikaru Shida is doing. So I couldn't tell you about Hikaru Shida. Hopefully she's doing well. Hopefully she's well. WWE, I don't see it. I don't see it. Not because she can't be good, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Ever. I think she'll stay in AEW. Probably where she belongs, but that's a nice poster. With Io, Rhea, and Kairi Sane. Cool. But yeah, I'm not convinced. I have no conviction when it comes to Hikaru Shida. Who knows what's happening with her? Who knows? Another poster. We're just in the poster heaven right now. Look at this. The match, the Destiny match, the Dream Destiny, Sky Mayu. I'm telling you right now, top 5 match of the year. Top 5 match of the year. No, let's be safe. Let's be safe. Top 10. Top 10 for sure. I think we'll crack top 10. These two will put on a show. They'll want to put on the show. They'll want to. I think they're going to be main event. Could be wrong about that. I think I heard Mayu say main event. But they're going to want to really put on a spectacular showcase. And I'm looking forward to it. But I'll say top 10. Because if I go to my list, my current list. Let's see. My current list right now. Saya, Tam, Io, Azumi, Momo. Should I be bold here? Should I be bold? Honestly, I could easily see it be better than Starlight Kid Arena. You know what? I'll gamble. Io's had 2 of the top 3 already. Add Mayu. I'm gonna call it top 5. He's gonna come right in here somewhere. Probably jump Jordan Grace Tessa. Be right in here. So yeah, I'm gonna predict top 5 for that match. I'm gonna do it top 5 because Io has a track record. He has what 1, 2, 3 matches in the top 10. So yeah, she can do that. She can do it. Top 5. She can have a top 3 with Rhea Ripley. No excuse. As long as the match is booked properly, I don't see why it can't be top 5. So I'm gonna call it Mayu Io top 5. Mercedes sucks like shit. Chris, you have a very, very bad opinion on AW. Like, you just hate AW, all of it. But Mercedes Moné does not suck as a wrestler. Anna Jay, I have a soft spot for Anna Jay because she went to compete in the 5-star GP last year, and I respected her grind and her toughing it out and her trying. So I have a soft spot for Anna Jay, but no, her in ring isn't great either. Not great either. But I root for Anna Jay. I root for her. The SummerSlam triple threat is overrated. Let's go back and look at that. You're saying that I'm overrating this match. This one right here. The issue is the way I score matches. I think it favors triple threat matches, and because Io, Rhea Ripley, Naomi all did well and executed their spots, it tends to score high. So that's how it worked out. Because my scoring system is consistent. I don't change it. So ultimately, that match scored high, and I can't take it lower because that would just mess up my entire thing. I can't mess with that ranking. So I had to go there. It had to go to 8. Number 8. It had to be there. But I don't think it's overrated. Not with my scoring system, it isn't. But again, it tends to favor triple threats because triple threat matches are very intricate. You see shit you don't always see, and that tends to score high when you have those intricate, interconnected move sets. That one move flows into another move. It just works out well for triple threat matches. But as you can see, those are only 2 triple threat matches that got up there. I mean, next one is down here at 20. It's Becky, Lyra, Bayley, and the next one is Mercedes, Azumi, Mina. So it doesn't really, So yeah, it's an Io Sky thing. That's what it really is. It's an Io Sky thing. She scores high. Anna Jay should dump Taya Mello. Yeah, I agree. Match was fine, but people gas it up because Naomi pinned. Yeah, that's not why I have it that high. I could care less who wins the match. Who gets the pin doesn't matter. The way I scored, that doesn't matter like at all. Julia versus Stephanie McCare, favorite match? That's a good one. Where do I have that one? Julia, Stephanie. That was a TV match, by the way. TV match, commercials, not that long. That was, let me see. That's my 59th best match of the year. And to be clear, folks, I've watched well over 1,000 women's matches this year. If your match is on here, it was good. Maybe, basically. If it was on this list, it's good. Really good. Because I've watched so many women's matches this year. I'm telling you, folks. So many. So if your match is on this list, you had a damn good match. Whether it's 70 or 3, it was on here. It's very good. I've watched way too much matches this year. So much so. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it again. I don't know if I'm gonna do it again next year. Been a lot of work. More than I thought it was gonna be. Not always fun. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it again next year. Well, Kylie Ray is pregnant. So here's what I'm talking about here. Kylie Ray and Zeta Steel are not going to be in the WWE program going forward. Kylie Rae is pregnant. That makes sense. And Zeta Steel is going in a different direction. I respect it. Not really need it at all. You don't need it. She's 21 years old. She'll be fine. She can go to AEW if she wants. Oh, she's young. Like, she has a long career ahead of her. She can get back to the WWE different route later on. So not really needed. All the conversation online is about the ratings. By the way, they're all talking about the ratings right now. That's what everyone's talking about. The ratings. All right, any last questions? Them not giving her the title? Yeah, I don't think that's what it is, but But I can see her in TNA. By the way, I can see her in TNA. Why not, honestly? For Zeta Steel. I can see her getting a payday right now at 21 and still working with WWE. You can't be in the ID program and sign to TNA. So if she makes that jump to TNA, that makes sense. I say to everyone, if it's not WWE, it's TNA. Growing up, I was a huge TNA fan. So, for all we know, she's been contacted by TNA. She's been in cahoots with them, and she's gonna be signed at 21. So if that's the case, why are you in the ID program? It makes no sense. We'll see what she does. We'll see what she does. We don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what she ends up doing. All right. All her stablemates were in NXT, but her was a fishy. What? With her is fishy? What do you mean? What about it was fishy? What did I think of the women's TNA versus NXT match? Honestly, I thought it was disappointing because it could have been better. There was some sloppiness in there. Yeah, it just could have been better. I think the standard for the women's division in NXT is high. And because it's so high, it has to reach a certain threshold. And I just thought it was okay. It wasn't the best, and it should have been because of the talent in the ring. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 stars, maybe. Lash not getting in there was kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Lash Legend. It's kind of weird. Lash Legend is ready for the main roster, I think. Her booking is kind of weird. They let go of Jakara Jackson. I thought when they let Jakara go, they pushed Lash. But you could argue Jakara is getting more of a spotlight on NXT than Lash is. And she's not even signed to the damn promotion anymore. Don't know what's happening with Lash. I don't know what's happening with Lash. It's kind of weird. The Lash Legend is a great talent. Great look. Strong, athletic. Makes all the sense in the world to push her. But it's not happening. Weird. Really weird. Okay, let me see if there's any last news drops on Twitter before I sign out of here. A lot of images of Julia, Stephanie in the working with the kids. Lovely to see. Heavy Kelly's there as well. What else is going on? They're all talking about the ratings. That's what the talk is on. That's what the talk is online right now. Ratings, ratings, ratings. Okay. That's kind of it. SmackDown card looks decent because it's in Australia. That's why. Let's look at the SmackDown card to close the show. Let's look at the SmackDown card to close the stream. Let's see. Because it's in Australia, they added some big matches there, so that's why. That's why. So you have, what is it? It's Stephanie versus Julia and Kiana James. You have a hardcore match, I believe, between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. You have, what else? What else? There's a tag match, something like that? I don't know. What else? India Hartwell has 4 belts now. Jeez. WWE SmackDown. Wyatt 6 against Street Profits. I forgot about that one. And you have the Sami Zayn match. Open challenge. Yeah, it's a good show. Sami Zayn, open challenge. Wyatt 6 versus Street Profits. You got the Stephanie versus Julia and Kiana James. Priest against Aleister Black. Solid from an in-ring standpoint. Storytelling, we'll see how that goes because you have Road Dogg running the show, but we don't know. So honestly, it would have made sense if they did Charlotte and Alexa versus Tiffany and Stephanie for the tag titles. For the titles or just for a tag match? For the titles, I don't love it. But no. I guess if you want Charlotte Flair and Alexa on the card, big stars, why aren't they on the card? That makes sense, I guess. What are they doing? Is Charlotte and Alexa going to Perth? Are they in Australia? No match, no real program yet. They've been looking at Julia and Kiana James. They've been looking at Zarya and Sol Ruka, but they don't have any real program right now. Oh, no title on the line? But is there a story there, though? That's the issue. There's no story there. Yeah, so Charlotte, Alexa, chilling in America, not in Australia, so. I'm thinking that they're going to do Zarya and Sol. They may do Julia and Kiana James. But ultimately, they got to go to Raw. They got to go to Raw. War Games for Julia. Both War Games will be from Raw. Both War Games teams. Or the build, right? They may add a one from SmackDown here or there, but the most of the build, which is indictment against SmackDown, because usually you'll have one Raw, or one War Games team from Raw, another War Games match from SmackDown. So last year, I believe it was the men from Raw and the women from SmackDown, I think. This year, was that reversed? But this year, I think it'll be both from Raw. Men and women War Games. So, yeah, that just shows how bad a shape SmackDown's in. Because, of course, you're going to have the Division versus Roman and the crew. And then for women, it'll be Rhea, Io, Asuka, and Kyrie, of course. That's on Raw. Add in Judgment Day. Add in Becky, maybe. Add in AJ Lee, maybe. Add in Lyra maybe. Stephanie, of course, probably be in that match. So yeah, Raw women will be War Games. Same for Raw men. SmackDown doing nothing from a War Game standpoint. Unless Bianca shows up. The only way. Not gonna have Tiffany or Nia. Makes no sense for them to be in the War Games match. Bianca maybe, because there's that EO Rhea Ripley connection. But yeah, it'll be a Raw thing. It's gonna be all Raw for women and men. What a shame. SmackDown is rough. Rough spot. All right, folks. That's it for the stream. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Enjoy Ring of Honor tonight if you're gonna watch that. Sharice wrestles, one of the best in the world, and watch her wrestle Alex Winza. TNA tonight as well, I think. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, well, is there a show tonight for TNA? They did have a joint show with NXT, but I'm pretty sure they have a match. They have a show today as well, probably. So TNA, Ring of Honor. Remember, SmackDown, 8 a.m. on Netflix tomorrow. That's funny because it'll be on Netflix at 8 a.m., but USA Network will show it at 8 p.m. So 12 hours later, all the spoilers will be online. All the spoilers will be online for 12 hours. Yeah, I'll be watching that live while working from home. I'll be working from home watching SmackDown, probably. Who knows? Like a side monitor. And then, because I'm not avoiding spoilers. Hell no. I'm not going to avoid spoilers. So I'm just going to watch it probably live as much as I can. And then Perth show for Crown Jewel, 8 a.m. Raw. And then before Raw, you're going to have your Bound for Glory Sunday. So it'll be fun. All right, guys. Later. Peace. Oops. Hit the wrong button and Bailey popped up. Funny.